Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Better Thyself. It's over a month that the new year started, and then you made certain promises to yourself to be a better, more productive person. 9 out of 10 chances are that most of the promises that you made to yourself, most of the resolutions that you undertook, you have thrown them by the wayside, dumped them in the garbage, and have simply forgotten them. But still you are worried. Worried because you want to reclaim your productivity at least for the next 11 months. And once you have productive for the 11 months, this will become a habit, a second nature to you to be more productive. And being productive is not being difficult. I'm amazed when the people tell me it's difficult to be productive. A certain sense of discipline, a certain sense of prioritizing your activities can make you a lot better as far as the productivity is concerned. There's a simple thing. We are living in the age of social media. And all our devices, smartphones, iPads, tablets, and even our watches are attuned to our social media. And every few seconds, there's a ping notifying your email or your social media. When working on anything, this disturbs you, disrupts you, breaks your span of attention, distracts you. So the first thing you can do is turn off the notifications. Let there be no pings. And when there are no pings, you can concentrate better. And along with this is block of social time. There are many online opportunities which are exclusive and you are doing it. But I understand it. People who are very busy on the social circuitry, on the social media, can have some time, not always, very important messages. So I suggest that every 2 hours you spend 10 minutes on the social media. Go attend to your social media and to your emails every 2 hours, not every second. And then train your colleagues and staff and contacts not to expect a response immediately. Tell them very clearly that the response would be at your time, and 2 hours is not a hell of a long time. It does not make the other people nervous or worried, and especially when they know that you will not respond for 2 years. Then what happens is people pop into your offices. They come without appointment. They come with a quick question. They forget that you might be working hard on something, and by their popping in, they are disturbing you. They are cutting off your valuable time and redirecting your attention from what you were doing prior to that interruption. Tell people that drive-bys are not welcome. You are not a drive-by restaurant. You are not a Tim Horton or a Wendy where people can drive by, order their coffee or a snack and then go on. No. Tell them very clearly, nobody will come to me between this time. Tell them the times and tell them even then you will confirm whether you are welcome or not. Make people schedule meeting with you. This meeting schedule will enhance your efficiency and your productivity at least 20%. Third is touch it at once. Touch it once. If you take time to read your email every second, you want to deal it with right then and there. So put off dealing with it, reread it, rethink your response, and then respond. So what I suggested earlier, 2 hours gap to read it. But again, the response need not be within 2 hours. In the next 2 hours, you can think about it and do it then. Responding immediately can be impulsive and may not always be welcome, especially if your impulses are not directed by your cerebral matter. Then demand a deadline from others. We are always setting deadlines for ourselves. Do we ever set deadlines for others? You would say, well, you can set deadline for the junior. No. You can set a deadline even for your equals and even for your bosses. I have many times written letters to my bosses when I was working. I expect your reply within 1 day, but otherwise I'll assume that you've given me a go-by. You have given me permission. And once I demand a deadline, it is always better. It's wise to keep this rule, whether it's coming from the person for a work request or for yourself. So set a deadline for yourself and set a deadline for the others. Thirdly, create an agenda. Refuse to attend meetings which have no agenda. That is being inefficient. And many times when you scan an agenda, you will know whether it's even worthwhile going to that meeting or not. Is that meeting just a wastage of time? Or is it going to contribute in any way? Or if there are instances when the meeting may be very important and agenda may be important, but you have no contribution to make. So you can send a note that since the agenda is beyond my scope, beyond my capabilities, or doesn't fall in my purview, I may be excused. And that's why I'm saying create an agenda for the meeting and create an agenda for yourself. If somebody wants to meet you, ask him what does he want to meet for. I receive many phone calls even now asking to come and meet me, and I simply ask them what for. And then they tell me. And many times at the time of request, they understand there's no need of meeting and they go away. So, another thing, very important. Even if you telecommute, even you work from home, even when you are working in your home office, always get dressed for work. What happens? Your brain uses your clothes as visual cues to what should be doing and when should be doing that. If you stay in your night suit all the day long, your brain thinks you're sleeping and you will be less productive. Be fully, formally dressed as you would dress for an office. There's a direct communication between the way you dress and the way you work. Another thing important, write it down. The simple act of writing down your name, your notes, making lists and projects with pen and paper allows your subconscious mind to retain that information and keep track of it. When you are writing something, you are using the sense of touch and the sense of sight, and it's percolating to your subconscious mind. And many times you may not even look at your calendar, but you remember that this is what you had done and this was the agenda, and it will come to your mind. Suppose you have lost the paper train. Then learn something new, as I've always been saying. There is no end to learning. There are tutorial courses. There are a lot of information on the net. You may not understand it immediately, but you can widen your horizon of knowledge. Even if it's not directly connected to your work, it will enhance the quality of your perceptions. Then learn to synchronize. You have all the information, but it's cluttered. So synchronize your knowledge properly. As I always say again, if your brain is like a hard disk, so you defragmentize it, you optimize the hard disk. Why don't you do it with the brain? Then shall I tell you another secret? Our brains are tuned in a way that they work in a time span of 45 minutes. The neurologists at the Hopkins Institute have identified it, that the brain is concentrated, normal, average person. I'm not talking of geniuses, and now I'm not talking of the dunces. I'm sure you are a normal, average human being. So 45 minutes your brain will concentrate on that, and after 45 minutes, the productivity of the brain starts falling down for that matter. So concentrate on your work for 45 minutes, and that's why I said 2 hours basically. 45 minutes, 10 hours, another work, and then go to the other thing. And one more factor, or rather, that's create rituals for yourself. Transform your business systems into brand rituals. Engage your senses, even on mundane things. Doing books. When you create rituals, this is the way I'll act, this is the way I'll dress, this is the way I'll react, this shall be my response to such a situation. So the rituals enable you to come up with the quick responses, and the quicker your responses are, the more productive you are. And then, the biggest problem is we don't solve our long-term problems for one reason: we have made no plans for them. Create an action plan for every work, especially if the work is for a longer term. If you don't have a plan, you'll be haphazard, you'll be floundering in the water and not reach the objective in time. Your productivity would be less. And then change your environment. When you're creating rituals, don't let the rituals overcome your environment. Your ethics and your environment should change. Reawaken your brain to increasing productivity. And changing environment is what? You are working at a problem or at any work for 1 hour. Take a walk after 1 hour. That's it. And that's why I said 2 hours. So it will break your monotony of the work. It will change you up. And one thing is, people consider calling people before you email them or text them. When you speak with someone, you accomplish much more because of the interaction between yourself. Many confusing ideas would be cleared. The fog would be cleared. You send an email, it may not have that much of clarity. You receive back an email, and the process might continue 10, 20 times. But picking up a phone and conversing, and in short 5 seconds or 10 seconds, you might be able to be sure what the other wants and when you want it done. So when you speak with someone, within a few minutes, you'll solve the issue rather than typing back and forth. And then, use your scents, your perfumes. Your brain can become foggy. So what happens? There are certain smells which stimulate the brain and increase the productivity, especially the smell of the citrus, lime smell, orangey smell. If you are unable to find a solution, go to the coffee house, have a nice cup of coffee. The smell of the coffee beans being ground increases your focus, as the smell of lemonade increases your focus. So these sharp smells would increase your focus, and that's why they say coffee is useful, because coffee fumes, coffee scent, the smell, the fragrance, refreshes your brain. And last, most important, don't beat yourself up. Many times the job would be such which is unattainable, overrated. So don't start criticizing yourself. You are only holding yourself from performing better next time. You have failed once, I'll try again. Okay, let me see it. And that girding up your loins, that getting ready for the next time, will make you more productive, because it enhances your willpower, your capacity to fight back, your desire to take over. So these 16 suggestions which I have given you, if you adopt them, even if all your resolutions are fallen by the wayside, will make you more productive, more efficient, and ultimately, if you are more productive, more efficient, you are happy. What more do you want? Thank you.